Hi, it's Kat and Neville with tasteMAKERS, and today I wanted to get into the kitchen and share with you one of my very favorite comfort food recipes. Risotto is incredibly easy to make, and it is something that can be adjusted to whatever dietary restrictions you might have using whatever you have in your pantry. It is gluten-free because it's made with rice and can be easily made vegetarian or vegan depending on what you want to include in the dish. And it takes about 40-45 minutes from start to finish, and the technique is incredibly simple. If you have basic knife skills to be able to cut up an onion, you're going to be able to make risotto. So I'm going to show you how to do it from start to finish. And the first thing that you want to do is get a pot of broth. It can be chicken or veg. If you're making a seafood risotto, whatever you want, a pot of broth simmering on the stove, mixed in with about a cup or more of white wine. And you want to pick a wine that is not too sour because it is going to concentrate, the flavor will concentrate as you're cooking. So you want to pick a wine that is pretty soft, and I've just chosen a basic everyday Chardonnay. I also have a pan here with some olive oil and chopped up onion ready to go. But the first thing that I'm going to do is cook off some sausage and mushrooms. So I'm doing a sausage, mushroom, and baby kale risotto. You can do asparagus and carrots. You could do a seafood risotto. As I mentioned, it really is a blank canvas, kind of in the way that pasta or pizza is a blank canvas. So I just have some Italian sausage, and the reason why I'm cooking this off first is that I'm going to be stirring this in just about when the risotto is finished, and it has to already be cooked. You don't want to be adding in anything that's raw at that point. So I'm going to get started on this. I'm going to let the fat essentially render out of this sausage, and then I'm going to add in my mushrooms and get all of those cooked down. So my sausage and mushroom mixture has been cooked off. It's nice and caramelized and smells fantastic. My broth is simmering, and my onions are being cooked up in a good dose of olive oil. I just want to get them to the point where they are translucent. I don't want these to brown. So I have them at medium high. Keep my eye on it, and once they have that nice kind of soft translucent character to them, I'm going to add in my rice and then deglaze with some wine. My onions are nice and soft and aromatic. I'm adding in about 1.5 cups of arborio rice. And arborio is used in risotto because it has this wonderful starchy coating on the outside that as you're adding in all of that broth and wine, it kind of makes this wonderful creamy consistency. So I'm just stirring this around, coating each grain of rice with olive oil, mixing in my onions. Now, I'm just going to deglaze with about 1 cup or so of wine. This is the first addition of liquid, and this, I think, is one of the reasons why people get nervous about making risotto, because they think they have to just babysit the pot as the rice is cooking. And really, it's all about stirring the rice so that all of that liquid can evaporate. And the idea is to concentrate the flavor in the wine and the broth that you're using. So there are some risotto techniques that, are baked in the oven or don't have any stirring, but you're not going to get the same end result of that really intense flavor. This is a really great way for kids to get involved in the kitchen. Put a little step stool next to the stovetop, and as the liquid needs to be added into the risotto, your little one can just get a half a cup of the broth and the wine mixture and just pour it right in. Super simple. And obviously, if you don't want to include wine in the recipe, you don't have to. It just really adds a fantastic flavor. And the vast majority of the alcohol is absolutely burned off during the cooking. So when the grains start to swell up and they look like they're absorbing all that liquid, just give them a taste like you would pasta to see if it's done. And you want your rice to be al dente in the same way that you want your pasta to be. You don't want it to be too mushy, and you obviously don't want it to be hard. And I'm just about there. There's a little bit of cooking left to do. And so what I like to do to kind of really infuse as much flavor as possible into my risotto, I go ahead and add my cooked element in now, because then all that wonderful flavor from the mushrooms and the sausage can be absorbed at this stage. Yum. Get that all mixed in. Oh my gosh. So you don't want your risotto to be soupy, but you also don't want it to be dry. You want it to have just this wonderful kind of creamy, loose texture to it. I'm gonna let this absorb, and then I'm gonna stir in the kale and the Parmesan, and then I'm going to eat. All right, my risotto is finished. It's fragrant. All those rice grains have absorbed all this wonderful flavor. And again, this is one of the most easily adaptable recipes to whatever it is that you have in your pantry. Any dietary restrictions, as long as you keep that technique the same, where you add in the broth and stir it all into the rice, you're gonna be good. Just like this is good. And I have the full recipe for you here, step-by-step instructions. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you next time.